Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Weather-wise, it is a very cold start to our morning. It's mostly cloudy, and there is some light rain around, mostly across the hill country, and we'll dive into that in just a little bit as we talk about the forecast for today, tomorrow, and the next couple days into the weekend. Just want to make sure my audio is working A-OK, and it looks like it's working just fine. All right, good morning, James. Good morning, Manuel. Not as bad? Yeah. It's not bad right now. That's the good news. We're expecting some more light rain, but nothing heavy. Everything that forms this afternoon, it's going to be very light, but there will be some sleet, maybe some freezing rain mixed in, mostly across the hill country. And the good news, we're not expecting much accumulation. So the roads should be okay this afternoon, but some roadways may be a little slick with some light rain, and then with temperatures reaching freezing overnight, that may cause a few problems by early Friday morning. But it's cold, it's cloudy, it's 35 at the airport, 41 at Stinson, so a big temperature difference between different areas and across Bexar County. There is a north wind at 15, but gusting up to 25 and 30, so it is breezy to windy. You add in colder air, and it is just very cold out there. So you can see 32 freezing in Helotes, 35 in Timberwood Park, and you can see it's near 40 and more. Same thing in Devine at 39. Okay, so yeah. We're not expecting much rain. Last 24 hours, these models have actually backed off a lot in terms of rain accumulation. So that's the good news. We're not expecting much rain. If we do see any rain, it's going to be super light just because the air is so dry. So whenever rain falls in the upper levels of the atmosphere, it kind of evaporates because the air is so dry. Our dew points are in the teens and 20s. So that's the biggest struggle for the rain to fall to the surface, is just how much dry air is in place right now over the area. So that's something to keep in mind. But overall, there's not much rain out there. On radar, there is some wintry mix over northern portions of the hill country, but again, very light, and we're not expecting much accumulation. All right, so it's cold out there. You can see 32 in Bernie, below freezing in the hill country. Kerrville 29, 27 in Fredericksburg. Middle to upper 30s out east near Gonzales. Hallettsville, LaGrange at 37 degrees. So it's a cold and breezy start. And the good news, rain isn't all that impressive in coverage, but the winds are the big story. When you add in these wind speeds, 15, 25, 30 miles an hour, that's creating a feels-like temperature or a wind chill down into the 30s and 20s. So if you have yet to go outside, it is going to be cold. So it feels like 26 with the wind speed at 25 miles an hour here in San Antonio. Even colder across the hill country, 13 in Fredericksburg, 18 in Kerrville, 27 in Gonzales. So you get the bigger picture. It's cold out there and it is windy. And it gets a lot colder out north. You can see Amarillo at 15 degrees way out in North Texas. So about a 20-degree swing in temperatures from San Antonio towards Amarillo, towards the Panhandle. That's where the air is desert-like dry, and the temperature falls off even more with colder air moving in from the Central Plains. And yeah, that north wind is the biggest story this evening. Now, over the course of the next several hours, we may see some light rain. Most of us will see light rain. If you're farther down south towards Beeville, towards George West, you do have a better chance at seeing a wintry mix and maybe even some freezing rain. Same thing if you're watching from the hill country. It's really San Antonio that's in this sweet spot that we're not going to see much accumulation. Will we see light rain? Probably in patchy areas across the area. But overall, it's just light rain, maybe mixing in with a sleet, a freezing rain across the hill country. But overall, temperature is the big story, wind's the big story, and temperatures stay in the 30s all day long today. Now here's the air, the moisture in the air, or at least I should say the lack of. It's so dry, dew points are in the teens and 20s. The winds don't back off until probably tonight. I would say 10 p.m. I mean, it'll stay breezy through the evening, and it's not until after midnight maybe. Winds calm down below 15 miles an hour. And then tomorrow, kind of northeast breeze, 5 to 15, but not as windy tomorrow. It's really just through this afternoon. The winds are the big story. And you can see it is just a little breezy out there, and the bigger picture is the radar. Notice the light rain that's to our south near Pleasanton, Tilden, I-37. And again, the air is so dry that a lot of this is not reaching the ground. It falls through a pocket of very dry air and it evaporates. But you can see kind of what draws your attention is the hill country. So again, due to the dry air, some of this is not reaching the ground, but some of it may across Fredericksburg, Mason, Junction, Kerrville, Rock Springs. You'll see some light rain and some wintry mix, and also some freezing rain maybe, just because Kerrville and Fredericksburg are already below 32 degrees right now. So their air temperature would support some of this falling to the ground, but again, the air is dry. That's something to overcome that column of air that's so dry. And even some potential snow flurries out west Texas, Sonora, Fort Stockton, south of Big Lake, south of Crane, along I-10. That's where they may be seeing a little bit more accumulation, but overall here in San Antonio, it is very dry, windy, cloudy, and very cold. So you can see not much in the way of any precip here in San Antonio. And there may be some patchy areas of very light rain along Texas 173 north of Hondo and southwest of Helotes. But once again, a lot of this is struggling to reach the ground as the air is so dry. In the meantime, we do have a winter weather advisory. That's the good news. Just because yesterday we had a winter storm watch and that downgraded to a winter weather advisory. So we're not expecting much accumulation. The air is going to be cold. The winds are going to be breezy. But farther down south, you pick up on different stories towards the Texas Gulf Coast. I think those are freeze warnings. If not, some winter weather, winter storm related advisories and watches, because I do think South Texas down towards the coast we'll see a little bit more accumulation in terms of some freezing rain and maybe some sleet down south away from San Antonio. So let's time it out for you, what to expect. Same thing, right? Some sleet, maybe some light rain across the area, but coverage is not going to be impressive. It does increase slightly towards about 2, 3 o'clock, and most of this is going to be light rain. And the biggest takeaway is anywhere northwest of 1604 towards Bernie, towards Kerrville, Fredericksburg. That's where they have a slightly better chance at seeing more of that wintry mix, maybe some freezing rain, maybe some sleet. And some of that may dip down into Bexar County, but you can see on this forecast model, one of many, it's just light stuff. Temperatures in the middle 30s all day today. We don't get above 40, so it's going to be cold and breezy. And good news, a lot of this backs off east and south towards the coast and towards Houston by about 8, 9 p.m. tonight. So that's the good news. But with any accumulation on the road, whether it's 1/100 of an inch, 1/10 of an inch, very light rain accumulation, with temperatures getting down below freezing in the overnight by about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, especially in the hill country, that may lead to a glazing of ice on the road. Not going to be widespread, but if you are traveling northwest of San Antonio tonight, tomorrow afternoon, things will improve, but in the overnight with temperatures below freezing, that may cause some delays and a glazing of ice on the roads. So this afternoon, light rain, nothing impressive, maybe a wintry mix, especially northwest into the hill country. Tonight, slick roads in a few areas, especially across Gillespie County and Kerr County. Tomorrow morning, Friday morning, freezing temperatures below 32, especially across Bernie and the hill country, and that may lead to some patchy ice, a very thin layer of ice on bridges and overpasses. That's the big takeaway. And then things improve by tomorrow afternoon as the clouds clear and our temperatures warm up. It'll still be a cold day tomorrow, but highs will actually only top out in the 40s and 50s tomorrow afternoon, depending on when the sun exactly comes out. And on this forecast model, it says tomorrow afternoon around 1:32, the clouds should move south and we should see some sunshine. So it should be overall pretty nice tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, if you can, just avoid any unnecessary travel, especially in the hill country this afternoon, tonight. Again, not a whole lot of accumulation, but anything we do see accumulate may result in some slick spots, especially over bridges and overpasses. And it improves by tomorrow. And we talked about how the forecast models have been backing off on totals for rain. You can see by late tonight, tomorrow morning, only 1/100 of an inch, maybe 1/10 out near George West and Beeville towards the Texas Gulf Coast, and maybe, less than 1/10 of an inch over in Kerrville. But it's not a lot of accumulation. Yes, the temperatures will be below freezing in the overnight, and that may lead to a very thin layer of ice near Kerrville, near Fredericksburg, near Sonora, way removed from San Antonio. And that's just the lowest accumulation we'll see through tonight and tomorrow. But that may lead to a few impacts. Can't exactly rule that out, especially over bridges, the higher elevated spots towards the hill country, that glazing of ice from a trace amount of light rain, light ice to about 1/10. That is the biggest takeaway from today's forecast and tomorrow. Allergy report, heavy on the Mount Cedar, 5,620. Mold is light at 380. And most likely Mount Cedar is going to increase in amounts by tomorrow just because of the winds today and the colder air moving in from the north. All right, 7-day forecast, guys, shows overall nice conditions by this weekend, but today, just avoid any outdoor driving if you can. It's not going to be a lot. Again, wintry mix at best, but accumulation is going to be very low. Tonight, we'll maintain that light chance at rain, but Friday, things clear out. Temperatures near 46 in the afternoon and 51 by Saturday, so it's still going to be a cold weekend. And then another disturbance rolls in from the west on Sunday. That may spark off just only a 20 to 40% chance at some light rain, and best chance at rain in the forecast is today, but only light. And then on Monday, nothing freezing expected. Matter of fact, our temperatures get above freezing for the overnights and afternoons by next week. 56 on Monday, 62 on Tuesday, and about 54 on Wednesday.